Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to be here and share something really close to my heart. You know, people often ask, isn't it sad to have no friends? But let me tell you something, being a woman with no friends doesn't mean being alone. It means rediscovering your own strength. There is something incredibly powerful about self-love. It's not just a buzzword we see on social media or hear in motivational speeches. It's a deep, personal journey that transforms how we see the world and ourselves. For a long time, many of us are taught to seek approval from others. We try to be liked, to be accepted, and sometimes even to fit into spaces that don't truly value who we are. But the moment we stop looking outward and start turning inward, that's where the magic begins. Self-love doesn't come easily to most of us. It's not about standing in front of a mirror and repeating affirmations. Though that can help, it's about truly understanding who we are, embracing our flaws, and realizing that our worth isn't tied to how many people text us back or how many likes we get on a photo. It's about waking up in the morning and being at peace with the person staring back at you. In a world that constantly tells us to be more, do more, look better, and achieve faster, choosing to love yourself can feel like a rebellious act. But it's the kind of rebellion that leads to real peace. Think about it. How often do we compare ourselves with others? Whether it's online or offline, we sometimes end up thinking we're not enough. That's where self-love becomes your superpower. When you truly love yourself, you stop measuring your life by someone else's ruler. You create your own standards, your own timeline, and your own version of success. Self-love is also about protecting your peace. It's knowing when to say no, no to toxic people, no to situations that drain your energy, no to things that don't align with your growth, and it's not selfish, it's self-respect. There's a big difference between being selfish and setting healthy boundaries. When you love yourself, you realize that it's okay to walk away from things that make you feel small. You don't have to explain your worth to anyone. Your energy is precious, and where you place it should reflect how much you value yourself. I remember going through phases in life where I felt misunderstood, like I was giving so much of myself to people, trying to keep friendships alive, trying to be there for everyone, and yet feeling emotionally drained and lonely. It was during those quiet moments, the ones where I felt like no one really got me, that I started to look inward. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Like, what do I even say to myself? But slowly, I started spending time doing things I love. Dancing not for a performance, but just for the joy of it. Journaling my thoughts, not for social media captions, but to hear my own voice. And that voice became louder, clearer, and kinder over time. Loving yourself is also about being patient with your journey. We're all growing. We all make mistakes. Self-love means forgiving yourself when things don't go as planned. It means treating yourself with the same compassion you'd give to a friend. If your best friend failed at something, would you tear her down? No. You'd lift her up, remind her of her strengths, and help her try again. So why don't we do that for ourselves? There's something beautiful that happens when you begin to love yourself truly. You start attracting different energies. You stop settling. You don't chase people or opportunities. You align with them. Because when you radiate love from within, it shows. It shows in how you walk, how you talk, how you treat others, and most importantly, how you treat yourself. You become a magnet for peace, for clarity, and for people who value you for who you are, not who they want you to be. It's also important to understand that self-love isn't about being perfect. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about loving yourself even when you're messy, uncertain, emotional, or tired. It's knowing that even on your worst days, you are still worthy of love, respect, and care. You don't have to earn love by being flawless. You deserve love simply because you exist. Sometimes self-love also means doing the hard things, like leaving that friend group where you feel invisible, like taking a break from social media because it's messing with your peace, like resting when everyone else is hustling, or taking a leap of faith into a dream only you believe in. Those decisions take courage, but when they're rooted in self-love, they become powerful steps toward becoming the person you're meant to be. And don't get me wrong, it's okay to have moments where you feel low. Self-love doesn't mean you're happy all the time. It just means that even on the bad days, you don't abandon yourself. You sit with your feelings, you honor them, and then you pick yourself up gently and try again. That's strength. That's real love. You don't need a crowd to feel validated. You don't need constant noise to feel alive. Sometimes the quietest moments, when it's just you, your thoughts, your breath, are the most powerful. Because that's when you hear your real voice, the one that gets drowned out in all the chaos. And that voice, once you trust it, becomes your guide. So if you ever feel like you're walking alone, don't be afraid. That path may be quieter, but it's also clearer. And along that road, you'll meet the most important person you'll ever know. You, a woman who loves herself, respects herself, and trusts herself, is unstoppable. She doesn't need permission to shine. She doesn't wait for others to see her worth, because she already knows it. Remember this, self-love isn't the destination, it's a daily practice. It's in the little choices. What you eat, what you consume online, how you speak to yourself, how you let others treat you, and once you start practicing it, your entire world begins to shift. Not because the world changes, but because you do. So, hold your head high. Speak to yourself with kindness. Be your own best friend. Because in a world that may sometimes try to dim your light, love will always be your superpower. There's a quiet force inside every person. A kind of strength that doesn't shout, doesn't always get noticed, and doesn't depend on applause. It's called inner strength, and though it may not always be visible, it's what carries us through our darkest nights, our hardest days, and the in-between moments when life feels uncertain. Inner strength is not something you're born with, it's something you build. Slowly, gently, through experience, heartbreak, setbacks, and also through hope, resilience, and belief, we often look to the outside world for signs of power, big achievements, loud voices, fast progress. But true power doesn't always look like that. Sometimes real power is choosing to try again after you've failed. Sometimes it's saying no to something that doesn't align with your values, even if it means standing alone. It's being calm in chaos. It's being kind in a world that tests your patience. That quiet, steady force is your inner strength, and it's shaping your future in ways you may not even see yet. Life doesn't go according to plan. That's something all of us experience sooner or later. We dream, we prepare, and then sometimes life just throws something unexpected our way. A lost opportunity, a broken friendship, a period of self-doubt. And it's in those moments, when everything feels shaky, that our inner strength begins to rise, not like a sudden burst of confidence, but like a soft, unshakable whisper that says, "You can handle this." You see, the future isn't just something that happens to us, it's something we build. Every choice, every small step, every time we pick ourselves up when it would be easier to give up, that's how we build a future we can be proud of. Inner strength doesn't mean we don't get tired or scared. It means we keep going, even when we are. It means we trust ourselves enough to take the next step, even if we can't see the whole path. Think about the most challenging time in your life. Maybe you lost someone. Maybe you faced rejection. Maybe you felt completely alone. Now think about the fact that you got through it. You're still here, and that alone is proof of your strength. It might not have been perfect. You might have cried, stumbled, questioned everything, but you didn't give up. That resilience, that ability to keep going even when everything inside you wanted to stop, that's what will carry you into your future. Inner strength also gives you the power to believe in yourself when no one else does. Not everyone will see your vision. Not everyone will support your dreams, and that's okay. Your dreams were given to you, not to them. You don't need the world to understand your journey. You just need the courage to stay on the path, and courage comes from within. It's built each time you trust your voice, each time you choose growth over comfort, each time you act with integrity, even when no one is watching. This strength also allows you to heal, to forgive, to let go of anger that no longer serves you. Healing is hard work. It takes patience and vulnerability. But choosing to face your pain instead of running from it, that's strength, and the more you heal, the lighter you become. You stop carrying what isn't yours. You start making space for joy, peace, clarity. In that space is where your future begins to bloom. There's another side to inner strength that we don't talk about enough. It's the strength to rest, to slow down, to take care of yourself. In a world that glorifies busyness and hustle, choosing to protect your mental health is a bold act. It takes strength to say, "I need a break." It takes strength to be gentle with yourself. You are not a machine. You are human, and your future doesn't require you to burn out to prove your worth. It requires you to be well, to be whole. Inner strength also helps you rise above fear. Fear is a constant companion in life. It shows up when we try something new, when we risk failure, when we open our hearts. But fear doesn't have to control us. When your inner strength is active, you can acknowledge fear without letting it stop you. You can feel it, breathe through it, and still move forward, and that's how your future expands, by walking through the fear instead of avoiding it. One of the most beautiful parts of building inner strength is that it makes you a light for others. When you grow stronger inside, you become more grounded, more compassionate, more unshakable. People feel that, and you begin to lift others, not by preaching, but by being. You become a quiet reminder that it's okay to take your time, that it's okay to be different, that it's okay to fall and get back up again and again. Your presence becomes an example of resilience and grace. But remember, strength isn't always loud. It doesn't always look like confidence. Sometimes it looks like tears. Sometimes it looks like asking for help. Sometimes it looks like starting over from zero. But it's there in all those moments, and over time, those small acts of courage add up. They become the foundation of your future, a future that you didn't just dream about, but worked for through your own quiet perseverance. The truth is, no one else can give you this kind of strength. It can't be borrowed. It's something you grow inside yourself through experience, reflection, and most importantly, trust. Trust in your ability to adapt. Trust in your heart's capacity to love again. Trust in your ability to keep going, no matter what happens. And that trust is what turns your struggles into wisdom, your lessons into growth, and your story into a powerful future. So the next time you doubt yourself, pause, take a breath, remind yourself of everything you've survived. Remind yourself that you're not weak for struggling. You're strong because you're still trying. You're strong because you care, because you feel deeply, because you show up even when you're tired. That strength is shaping who you're becoming, and the future, it's already being built, one brave moment at a time. No matter what your journey looks like right now, hold on to that inner light. Even if it feels small, even if it flickers, it's enough. You're enough. And with that inner strength guiding you, the future ahead of you is not only possible, it's powerful, beautiful, and truly yours. So if you feel like a woman with no friends, don't feel broken. Feel powerful. Because sometimes the strongest woman is the one who stands alone, with her head high and her heart full. Thank you.